Today, I am going to build a DIY stand for my Nuobell adjustable dumbbells. Hey, this is Greg with Discovering Strength, the channel focused on all things garage gym. If you like what you see, consider subscribing below. So I've had my Nuobell adjustable dumbbells for a number of years now, and over the years I have put off either buying or making my own stand for the dumbbells. Now I could go out and buy a stand, but getting the Nuobell stand, it's something like $200 just for the stand, which doesn't seem quite worth it in my opinion. So today I decided I'm just gonna build one, and up front I'll say I have pretty much zero carpentry skills. But I found a pretty easy design that I'm following, and I'm just gonna try to put it together. All right, so real quick, I'm just gonna talk you through the materials I'm using today. I'm using these pieces of wood here. These pieces of wood are 8 inches wide, and then they're a ½ an inch thick. And then for my posts, I've got a 2x4 here. And then finally, just to connect these in the back, I'm gonna use this smaller board here. This one here is 3½ inches wide by ½ an inch. Then I did pick up some spray paint. I'm planning after I cut the pieces. So I've got my saw over here. I got an assortment of screws. All right, so first off, let's go ahead and cut all of the pieces. So I'm gonna start with the top and the bottom, those 4 boards. I'm gonna cut those to 20 inches long. All right, this next one, it just so happens that this is 38½ inches. And so I'm just gonna cut that right in half. All right, now the 2x4, I'm going to cut that into 4 pieces, 20 inches long each. All right, so I've got everything cut to size, and now I am going to use some spray paint. So I really underestimated how much spray paint I was gonna need. I probably need at least another can or 2 more cans. So I'm gonna have to pick that up and continue spray painting before I can continue. All right, so I just finished spray painting all the pieces of wood, and now I'm going to begin assembly. So what I'm gonna first do is start connecting the 2x4s to these flat pieces. So we'll have a top and a bottom and 2x4s in between. So I got the top portion attached to each of the 2x4s. And just as a reference to show you what I'm using for nails, this is just what I had lying around, so this is what I'm using. But these are 3-inch screws, not nails, screws. And these ones are exterior screws. You definitely don't need that, but that's what I had. But using these to then attach the top to the bottom. The other thing I did do is I just drilled a pilot hole in the top board before I screwed it to the 2x4. now I've attached the top and the bottom, and the next step for me is going to be attaching the smaller boards along the bottom and up underneath on the top to connect them together. And basically for that, I'm putting it together at an angle so that I can just step in between them to pick up the dumbbells and make it easier to grab. So I don't know exactly what angle I got there, but I just kind of put them in place. And now I'm going to attach the other boards. So the next step is to attach the dock for the Nuobells to the top. And this is where I wasn't too sure what I was going to do. I ended up finding some little brackets like this that I had planned to attach to the top here and then just bolt those down. However, you can see that this doesn't quite fit. It's not quite long enough. And there's not quite enough space on either side to be able to bolt that down. So I'm going to a plan B, and that is to use this right here. This is some like heavy duty Velcro. And what I'm planning to do is just to cut strips in half and put Velcro on either side and attach it that way, and we'll just see how secure it feels. All right, so applied the Velcro, and honestly, that seems super secure. So I am not worried about that moving around at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the Velcro to the other side, and that'll be it. So I Velcroed in both sides, and honestly, I am pretty pumped with the result here. It seems stable enough for me. Doesn't seem to really have any movement side to side. That was a concern, just the stability with this and supporting 80 pounds on either side. But really it looks awesome. And really my objective all along was just to get to a point where, one, I could have these up off of the floor and also angled like that, so I can just step right in between like so and pick them up. So I think this is perfect. So you can see, you know, very simple design. Like I said, I have no carpentry skills, so this is, if I can do it, anybody can do this. Just attaching them there at the bottom and underneath at the top. Seems to give it enough stability. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put it in place where it's going to be in my gym. All right, so got it in place where it's going to stay in the gym for now. Excited to put this to use. So I will say that this cost me a total of about $40 in materials. So keep that in mind, $40 versus upwards of about $200 if you go buy a standard Nuobell stand. So that does it for the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you've got a DIY solution, if you got any questions, and we'll see you next time.